I asked all of you to give me the best Pokemon Dex entries to find the hidden evolutions for, and you didn't disappoint. My keen eye and team of scientists, consisting completely of myself, have looked into these and can confirm we have found some real banger new evolutions for some Pokemon. So let's jump right in and start with my favorite, because this one was a real treat. Well, if you consider an apple a treat. And hey, there's still plenty of Dex entries to sort through, like thousands upon thousands of them. So drop me a Dex entry in the comments below that you think might be a good hook for a new Dex entry evolution. Alright, let's keep the doctor away with an apple. That statement just doesn't work in this day and age, does it? So Noibat's Scarlet Dex entry states that this Pokemon emits ultrasonic waves from its large ears to search for fruit to eat. It mistakes Applin for its food. And I was given the idea that maybe a Slowbro situation happens here. But you know, instead of just clamping down, we get a whole Vor situation going here. Yikes. But luckily for the two of them, they both survive. Yay. I've been playing a lot of Monster Hunter, obviously, so making some Wyvern-like designs is always a treat. And Noivern and Appletun being two of my fave fellas really makes this just exciting to do. I wanted to make it a marriage of the two lines, keeping a similar body plan to Noivern, but introduce some of that appley goodness to it. Well, a lot of appley goodness actually, as it becomes almost an apple dragon. Move over, Flapple. However, in this form, Applin sort of becomes almost like a parasite, one of those flatworms that takes over a snail's eyes, except now its ears, well, the Noibat ears, have become an Applin-adjacent little lad. I can just see it in-game emoting with the main face of Yvap. I thought it was pretty big brain to have it be partially based off a fruit bat, and even give it some Appleseed-like designs to it. And honestly, I'd use this in-game over a lot of other dragon types. Maybe not over Noivern or Applin though, let's be honest. Yvap, the duo Pokemon, a grass and dragon type. Yvap evolves from Noibat at level 32 while holding leftovers with an Applin in the party. Yvap is partially under control from a different Pokemon that's come from the Applin that was devoured when Yvap was a Noibat. They usually work in tandem, but if food is involved, the two will disagree. One likes fruit, the other bug types. Yvap have the abilities Ripen and Levitate. I've already scammed you. You know why? Because this one is technically a Pokemon hidden within a Dex entry and not a direct evolution. Oh, I got you so good. From Pokemon Scarlet's Dex again is Varoom's entry, which state it is said that this Pokemon was born when an unknown poison Pokemon entered and it inspirited an engine left at a scrap processing factory. So we're gonna make that Pokemon a reality. I have a cat named Ori, he's a cutie, and we found him on a cold winter's day snuggled up on the wheel of a car about to leave. I'm pretty thankful we found him in time, but this also gave me an idea. As cats like to sit on warm things and also hide within cars when it's cold for some reason, this mysterious poison-type Pokemon was a cat. And cat is like, you know, one letter away from car, right? This one has a lot of pre-existing Pokemon influences, which makes sense. I chose for Slicket's eyes here to have the same designs as Revavroom. It's technically what the soul of Revavroom is now, anyway. And it couldn't be any old cat, oh no, I chose to make Slicket an oil spill design. Very much like a Alolan Muck with the shifting colours and goopiness. It's kind of a nasty boy, but in the best way possible. Like, you know those videos of people sliding their cats along tiles? You can do that with Slicket, but any way you'd like. And then you accidentally slide it directly into an engine and a Varoom is born instead. Oops. Slicket, the curious cat Pokemon, a pure poison type. Slicket hide out in warehouses, junkyards, and mechanics shops, where they keep themselves warm and safe by hiding out in engines. This process is what birthed Varoom. Slicket are absorbed into the engine if they stay on it for too long. Many get quite frustrated when an engine block comes to life randomly. Slicket has a new ability called Lubricate, where this Pokemon is immune to Steel-type moves. Physical Steel-type attacks will raise the attacker's speed and raise this Pokemon's defensive stats. Our next one is a tad morbid, but I think very fitting, in that of Jigglypuff's Alpha Sapphire Dex entry, which states, when this Pokemon sings, it never pauses to breathe. If it is in battle against an opponent that does not easily fall asleep, Jigglypuff cannot breathe, endangering its life. Oh yeah, we're doing an Annihilate on this poor Jigglypuff. And in the sickest turn of events, I decided to do the opposite of the balloon kept just deflating, and just make it completely explode. Oh yes, I am quite evil, I know. This evolution is based off the legend of the Banshee, long-haired, ghostly creatures that sing and scream and scaring people so hard their soul leaves their body. This Jigglypuff Evo still carries the scraps of their previous evolution's skin, which works a bit like a combo of a hood and Banshee's long hair, and having some, little music note shapes in the cloak. I know, it's morbid. I can imagine the eyes like glowing in the night, or even having a Duskull-esque single eye that always follows the player. However, underneath that horrifying visage is something much less horrifying, in a cute little wisp of a Jigglypuff-like creature that's kind of got a bit of a Mareanie Toxapex look going on with them. So now we have a Jigglypuff Split Evo adding to the family of Jigglypuff variants, so soon we could have a Jigglypuff war. Banshee Nuff, the Scream Pokemon, a Ghost and Fairy type. Evolves from Jigglypuff after fainting on the same turn it used a sound-based move. Tragically, Banshee Nuff is only born when a Jigglypuff passes from this world. It is a skittish Pokemon that has screams so debilitating that it can cause either a deep sleep or full body paralysis. When alone, it will sing a melody that enraptures any that happen by it. Many accidents have occurred by people lost in the song of Banshee Nuff. Banshee Nuff have the abilities Levitate and Competitive. Let's continue with our ghostly adventures with a different spin to it. A bit of redemption for a Pokemon in Banette. Instead of the horrible pain of Mega Evolution, we instead get a bit of a kinder Pokemon. Banette's Ultra Moon entry states, resentment at being cast off made it spring into being. Some say that treating it well will satisfy it, and it will once more become a stuffed toy. So in this evolution, it's not going to become, just like a straight up stuffed toy again, because, well, then we wouldn't have a Pokemon. But I did want to play up a bit of an angle of it being almost like some kind of weird mascot horror, or I guess amazing digital circus character. Bobby Playtime or Five Nights at Freddy's looking creature. There we go, algorithm, throw that out there to him. I didn't want to make it just like a full Banette that, slightly changed with color or something. So instead made it almost a bit kooky and elf-like, keeping the zipper mouth, because I think it's a neat design trope, but it's all elongated all over. I thought because of the kind of jester-like qualities, instead of all the energy of the Pokemon leaving when the zipper opens, now it can open it up and spit out a little bit of stuffing, which now has a life of their own. It'd definitely be juggling these little creatures during their idle and attack animations. This design makes me think of something else, but I cannot for the life of me put my finger on what it reminds me of. Beloved, the renewed Pokemon, a fairy and ghost type. Beloved evolves from Banette with max friendship while holding any item. When a Banette is beloved by someone, it will evolve into Beloved. While still looking unsettling, it is a loving Pokemon that will protect their owner no matter the cost to its own life. They generate little souls made of stuffing that attack for Beloved. Beloved have the abilities Frisk and Rivalry. Hey, did you know I have a YouTube memberships now? You want to help support me more, you'll get things such as member badges, emotes, and even shoutouts at the end of videos. If you want to support me even more, my smooth Australian voice will even call out your name, oh baby. Alright, back to the Dex evolutions. Alright, so this next one is kind of equal in favorite design of the video. This one is for the little guy Dwebble. When he's all naked, he goes out searching, and in their Sword Dex entry it states, when it finds a stone appealing, it creates a hole inside it and uses it as a home. This Pokemon is the natural enemy of Rock'n'Roller and Roly-Poly, which makes me think that it just kind of scooshes itself into these Pokemon, which is a big yikes Dwebble. But when it does this to a Roly-Poly, that's when evolution occurs. I love that when Roly-Poly was first announced, we all kind of thought we were getting either a steam train or motorbike, but nope, Marge Simpson Gen 1 monster. I love it. It's a real good design actually, and the Gigantamax kind of slaps too. Our Dwebble though is based off the motorcycle idea of the design and becomes a symbiotic Pokemon, where they get their big old shell with a larger roly-coly like Pokemon inside. We have upgrades here, people, as this new Pokemon now has the ability to use their claws and, I guess, back of the shell to spin rock so fast it becomes its own sick Motobug. Move over Koraidon and Miraidon, I'm pulling up with the Hermison. Props to those that get the kind of origin of the name. I maybe went a bit too on the nose with the design here being a motorcycle with a handlebar eye stalks and bike helmet head, but oh well, I think this design slaps and I would 100% take this as a ride Pokemon in a new game. Hermison, the mobile home Pokemon, a bug and rock type. Evolves from Dwebble at level 34 with a Roly-Coly in your party. Hermison live in a symbiotic relationship with a rock-type Pokemon. Both are now faster and more dangerous, but their defenses suffer. Hermison use specialized limbs to spin stones at insane speeds, allowing them to roll about like a motorcycle till the stones shatter. Hermison has the ability Shell Armor and a new ability called Stone Wheel, where this Pokemon is immune to terrain and has doubled speed on said terrain. We're ending this one with a pseudo-legendary. Well, a newly introduced pseudo-legendary. We are completely upgrading this wimp with some anchor arms. And that's the Measly Xatu. I say Measly, but Xatu is a pretty fun design, and instead of going off one singular entry, we're kind of combining them all together. Xatu can see both past and future at all times, and apparently stands motionless because it has no desire to change it. That's a bit sus there, Xatu. So what if it was the bringer of ruin in the future because it sees this new evolution? Maybe it's mad because we named it Apocatrice. Nah, that name's sick, you're wrong, Xatu. This new evolution is based off the Black Heron and their curious way of hunting by canopy feeding, blocking light and spooking fishes for the easy nums. Well, the Apocatrice here does it for everyone, blocking out the sun and showing their eye-like crests, becoming a visage of the end. It's no longer seen past and future, as it is the end of everything, and so it's a bit more emotive than Xatu's very totem-like stare, which made sense. I get kind of Eye of Sauron from this design, which is perfect, but it's still goofy, which I think is, good for a Pokemon, both horrifying and scary, but looks like it would trip over their silly neck crest and act like no one saw it eat dirt. Apocatrice, the Apocalypse Pokemon, a Psychic and Dark type. Evolves from Xatu after using Future Sight to defeat a Pokemon. Apocatrice have powerful Foresight abilities. When they do this, their crest raises and begins to glow, and Apocatrice raises into the sky. An urban legend says that if Apocatrice blocks the sun for you when it uses their Foresight powers, then your future is going to be incredibly bleak. Apocatrice have the abilities Levitate and Synchronize. And another batch of Dex Eva is done. What did you think? Comment below a Dex entry and what your favorite design of the video was. And if you could please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. It's free and helps me a lot. And even more so, sharing the video around will ensure you get a good Dex entry in my special Pokedex. That's a lie. I'm sorry. But hey, this isn't a lie. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.